All right, welcome to this part 3 of the video tutorial series about my 432 Hz bowls and drones template. In this video, we're going to have a look at how to perform with the template. And basically, there's two main approaches that I see and that I would like to introduce to you. Of course, you can find your own way. There's no really wrong way of doing it, and you can totally experiment. But if you're like asking yourself, where to start or how to go about it, then I would show you two methods that work for me. Obviously, there's two options in the sense that we could do like a full chakra journey as one option, right? So you could go from the root to the sacral and so on until you are at the crown and journey your way through that. Or you go the opposite. Some people like to start with the crown, making the cosmic connection first and then rooting deeper and deeper into the earth. That's also totally fine. You can also jump chakras. The opposite one are each connected with each other, so you could go from earth to crown and then sacral, third eye, and so on. That's another option. The very classical approaches that you see most of the time is you want to ground the people first and then bring them up and then maybe ground them again. Or, you take them straight to source and then from this ethereal connection, you go deeper into the connection of the earth. So this is all chakras, and the other approach would be just one chakra. You would just want to focus on one theme and go really deep in the journey. And let's say, for instance, you want to do a root chakra journey because you want to help people to ground and to connect with the earth and to get a feeling of safety and security and let go of fear, for all those things. The root chakra is a really good starting point, and we could do like a whole root chakra journey. So this is what I'm going to show you now, and then how I would also transition to the next chakra. So for now, we're just going to focus on the root chakra, and you can really take your time. And the more relaxed you are, the more people will feel relaxed. So just take your time. So we start to play the drone. And I will slowly bring it up. Right, to a level that feels good. And then we can wait a little bit and let it play. Because as I said, less is more, and I would in general not play more than maybe 4 elements at the same time, maybe 6 maximum. Also because you don't want to clutter up the mix too much. So the less you have playing, the less frequencies are competing. And I set it in a way that, for instance, if you play, those drones, they're in the low frequencies, and then in the mid frequencies and the high frequencies. You can play them all together and they create a wide spectrum of frequencies. And the way that I like to start, I like to go from low to high, right? So now it's repeating the second time. I will bring in the lows now, the low drone, and I start with the crystal bolts. And later I go to the Tibetan bolts. Of course, you can combine them, but I find the crystal bolts sound a little bit more gentle in a sense because they don't have this metallic quality to them. So I like to start with that, right? And while this plays, you can already go to the crystal bowl rig and start introducing a bowl. Make sure it's not too loud. Maybe go a little lower on the level first, right? -12. See how that sounds. I am taking the granular off now. It's very important. So I have the pure tone. Right, and then I realize, okay, it could be a little louder. and maybe -6. And in case you're wondering what those things are doing, I invite you to watch the second video that I did about the instruments. The effect racks, I go into detail about all of the settings here and what they're doing. Okay, and now we can introduce the next one. I always bring the volume down first, right? And then bring in the next one, the mid drone. And now we can go a little more ethereal if we want to. First we can introduce some echo, like a little delay, maybe a longer one. And this almost creates a sensation that the ball is being, you know, sustained, although it's just a hit sound, which I really like. Or maybe a little longer. And then we can introduce the granular slightly. Now we're bringing in more frequencies at the same time. Right. And then we can bring also the high frequencies. And always check and listen and feel, you know, the energy within you and in the room, and make sure that you take your time. And whenever you want to make a transition, you can use bowl sounds. So I take out the highs, you know, the high drone, just to show you that while something is playing and you create this bed of sounds, you know, people focus on that and they don't notice so much. It's more subtle, the level changes, the volume going down. Let's say it's a little less obvious. And yeah, now we can go slowly to the Tibetan bowls, and I would start maybe with a sustained sound. And you see, for now, I was just playing the red ones, right? Because we're in the root chakra, and the root chakra is resonated by the note C, and all the bowls are in C. So for now, we can just stay there. But I will show you a nice way also how you can incorporate the other bowls. So let's bring that down. Right, and let's go to the Tibetan bowls, the low one. And the cool thing is, you can play a chord also, right? Because those are notes. It's a C major scale. The chakras are up to B, and then is an octave high again, the next C. So you can play chords, and the C chord would be a C major chord in the C major scale, and it's made up of the notes of C, E, and G. So now you can see we have an E here, and we have a G here. So we can now play a nice chord, right? So bring in the E. And bring in the G. And now we have this nice harmonious chord, right? Just checking that all this is off here. Playing some crystal bowls again. right? It's always good to come back to the bowls also, because they are kind of the main element, even though the other ones are made up of bowl sounds also, but those are like the original tones, right? Original bowl recordings. And you can also create inversions of the sound. So all you need is a C, E, and a G, but you don't have to play it like this. You could also say, okay, so I start with the G here, and I go to the C here. So now we have G, E, and C, and that's an inversion of the chord. They're still playing all at the same time together, and it's still the same notes, just different octaves, right? Because this is a low one, mid, and a high. So now we created, I think, the second inversion of the chord. So you can really play around with that, bring in some hits. And at some point we can take out the drone, because it starts to get a bit much, right? And now we're just focusing only on the bowl sounds. And this also has a very powerful effect, because now we have the pure frequencies, and it's less of a distraction. I wouldn't say it's a distraction, you know, the earth sounds, they're also there, but they create some sort of association, and now we are more in the pure vibrational space. There's no reference so much, it's just the pure tones, which is really powerful as well. And then we can slowly make a transition towards the other chakras. So I'm going to take out the high slowly. Right. Step by step, you can be really gentle. And every once in a while, play some bowls. We didn't play those ones yet, so maybe it's time. Giving some more space, playing with effects. And this one as well, the magical enchanted bowls. Increase some of the magic here. And go up. Right, and we're going to use these as a bridge as well, increase the mirror a little bit. Increase the mirror size so that we have a big reflection. And then slowly take off the big one here as well, the low drone. And again, play some of these bowls. Take these off. Right? And now we're getting to a moment where we're almost silent, and we go back to where we started with this one. And there's one more playing. Where is that? This guy. Put some granular to stretch the sound. Okay, and now we're getting to a moment almost of silence. So bring the granular back. One more hit. Right, and then we really let it fade out. Really don't be afraid to work with silence. It can be super powerful. And it gives some space to integrate what was happening, like the intensity of the journey. And silence itself is also really powerful. So we can take a little time, and then we would go to the sacral chakra and bring that in. And then we repeat the process, or if you want, you can go start with the Tibetan bowls first, bring in the hit. Now we're working with the D. Right. In general, it can be like super intuitive, actually. You can go back and forth. Combine them in any way you like. And do another journey now for the sacral chakra, right? And the chord here would be D minor, so you would have the notes D, F, and A. So let's try that here for the bowls as well. Right, so now we have this chord here. So really special. And so on. So I'm going to stop this here now, because otherwise I get lost and it's going to be a long video. And in the second part of the video, I'm going to show you how to work with MIDI controllers.